Uh, I think we're live. Are we live? Yes, we are. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new video today, or another live stream today. And welcome, everybody. Hope everyone's having a phenomenal day, night, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I'm certainly having a great day myself on this beautiful June 24th, Saturday, June 24th, I should say. So, yeah. Today we'll be discussing the 2024 Senate elections. In particular, who should Republicans run for each of the competitive seats? And we're going to rank how much of a focus each of these Senate races should be. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down, or these type of live streams. If you do, smash the like button down below. Subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter accounts in the description down below. Guys, go follow Real American Politics on Twitter. It is a great Twitter account everyone should follow. Of course, follow the Rumble page down below for exclusive content. And of course, I hope everyone joins the channel today. Guys, just for $3 a month, you could join Real American, which is a phenomenal deal, as help support the daily content we all know and love. You love the daily content? Well, this is the best way to support it. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Also, if you got questions you want answered or just want to help support the channel, the best way to do that is by sending a super chat. So, have any questions? Just want to help the channel and that stuff? Send a super chat. But if you do got a question and you don't want to send one, I'll answer most questions. But if you want your question for sure answered, I recommend sending a super chat. So I hope everybody enjoys today's stream. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so we have 12 states that I say we gotta focus on. Not Utah. Not Utah. Now, the primary we could talk about, but not really for the general. I don't think anybody is saying, oh yeah, the state of Utah is competitive for the general election. It ain't. Now, we'll discuss the primary in a couple states like Utah, like potentially Indiana now. That's going to just piss me off a little bit, but yeah, some fun stuff is definitely happening. Chances of flipping New Jersey, very slim. It's a very slim chance of that happening. Will we see Doug Vember? Well, Mastriano isn't running, so who would we get Doug Vember from then? I don't know. Princess Rider for 5. Getting this out before everything starts. I think the Russian thing is all an act to move troops closer to Kiev without the West noticing. So I heard about the stuff that's happening in Russia, and I'm not going to get too much into it because I always had a feeling that this was kind of a scam or just something was off. Either way, it turns out as, I guess it's fake. I don't know. I'm not going to get into it much because I'm not a Ukrainian expert or a Russian expert. I just do know that people that were wanting Wagner to take control of the group, you were in a world of hurt. Now, again, the Wagner group is, yeah, we're not going to get into it. We're just not going to get into it. Not get into it. Yeah. Doug Burgum. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know you talk about, but maybe he could run for the North Dakota Senate seat. I wouldn't be against that. But what's up with Indiana? So as everybody knows, my man Jim Banks is running for that Senate seat. Of course, the solid senator, Mike Braun. He's running for the governorship, and we're probably gonna get Jim Banks. However, everybody's united behind the Jim Banks. It sounds like, though, there's like an establishment group. They're going to spend like $100 million on this primary. It sounds like they're going to run an establishment candidate. I'm not kidding. That's what J.D. Vance just said yesterday. I swear, if somebody gets Jim Banks and spend $150, oh my freaking gosh, there's going to be a day of reckoning, but whatever. Hopefully that's fake. And we got a super chat by Riley the Mini Deutschen for 5. Can you do a video explaining all the types of ranked choice voting? Is there more than one type? And why does ranked choice voting favor Democrats? Yes, there are some variations of ranked choice voting. Like, you get, like, Maine system. It's not the same as Alaska's, because Alaska's is not really pure ranked choice voting. Yes, there's 4 candidates they rank, but that's a little bit different. As for Maine, you can rank as many candidates as you want. So it's a slightly different variation. Ranked choice voting also can get argument. Georgia, with its runoff system, is considered a ranked choice voting system. It depends. There's variations of it. So, yeah. Can you imagine if both Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger jump in the presidential race? Oh, gosh. I honestly want to see that happen just for the memes, but bro, y'all gotta chill. They just made a deal, so they stopped advancing. Not everything is a plan, a conspiracy. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, the whole situation with Russia is, like, bizarre. So, Alaska has a jungle primary. Maine has actual primaries before the general. Yes, they do, but it's bizarre. It's technically, you can run it as an independent. It's not the same as Maine's. So, but yeah, we gotta talk about. Let's start with let's start with Nevada, because that's arguably I think a very underrated state for 2024. Like, people are talking about it, but it isn't on everybody's mind. Do we all agree that it's not being discussed as much as it probably should be? Now, the state of Nevada is trending Republican. The only people that say otherwise are, like, the resist liberal types. This state is, even if it's by a quarter of a point, it is trending Republican. It's getting closer and closer. And 2024 may be the year Republicans finally break through at the presidential level. Now, the problem with Republicans in the state of Nevada is, put it simply, you're going against Jackie Rosen, who is, I would say, probably slightly stronger than Cortez was in 2022. And you're on top of that, it comes down to, can Trump win the state? I think Trump's in a decent spot to win the state of Nevada. Not saying he will or won't, I'm just saying that looks kind of decent right now. But I do think if Trump wins the state of Nevada by like a point or two, there's a good chance Republicans do win. Now, as for who we should run, Jim Marchant, I think it's Marchant or Marchant, I don't know. Jim Marchant, I think that's how you say his last name. If I'm butchering your last name, my bad. But, he should just run for like a congressional seat. Just don't run for the Senate seat. I'm fine with him. He's just kind of out there in some issues, but he's not the worst guy in the world. But I wouldn't necessarily support him for the primary unless he's our only candidate, which there is a chance. Sam Brown is a complete fake and fraud, all right? I know that people are going to say, oh my God, he's a Purple Heart recipient and, he did serve for this country. Yeah, that doesn't mean he's good. Dan Crenshaw, he served in the military. Does that mean he's a great congressman? No. Plus, Sam Brown, there's certain people that will support Sam Brown if he does run, that it's the Mitch McConnell types. The types that, we're going to spend $150 million only if this candidate gets in. But if somebody else, nope, we're not spending a dime. And you look at him, he's not really that good on the issues when you really look at it. So Sam Brown, I wouldn't support. Joy Gilbert, if he handled 2022 better, he claimed the F word and stuff after the primary and stuff, I think he could have been a serious contender. I mean, he is solid on some issues. He does appeal to the more MAGA base. But I think Gilbert, run maybe for a congressional seat. That's all I could say about that. Maybe run, Nevada first, I believe. That's the Northern District in Reno. Maybe run for that, but Senate, I don't think so. I have no freaking clue who this guy is. Now, the meme himself, though, there is one candidate that I think everybody can get behind. Rick Harrison. The meme himself from Pawn Stars, which is a pretty solid show on history and stuff, and everybody knows who's Rick Harrison. And he's a good meme, he's a good guy. He's not as, like, conservative as I would want a Republican to be, but Nevada is a bit more libertarian, so I can live with it. Rick Harrison is more of a libertarian guy, which I think bodes well in the state of Nevada. A bit better than, say, I don't know, frickin' Arizona, or not really Arizona, like Wisconsin, those Rust Belt states. I think he is a good fit for the state of Nevada. He's well known, he's well liked, and he has money. So it's all the positives. Plus, who doesn't like Rick Harrison? Come on now, the meme himself. I mean, I swear, all the memes of this guy is pretty good. So I would 100% support Rick Harrison if he does run for the Senate seat. Now, as for some other people, Dean Heller, no, absolutely not. Joe Heck, no. April Becker, she said no. Brian Sandoval, absolutely not. Let's not even stop pretending this guy was good. He was an awful governor. Now, Adam Laxalt, he said he's not going to run, but I would support him third time. But it just stings you lose 2 straight Senate or statewide races. And I know it's not his fault, but some people are blaming on him. It's like, what? He was our best candidate. If you think Sam Brown would have won, you're out there. That's what I will say. Can we run that mayor from North Las Vegas who switched parties from Democrat to Republican? I don't think he's going to. But yeah, I think that these are kind of the main candidates, I think it's Jim Marchant, Sam Brown, and probably Rick Harrison. I hope Harrison runs. He's kind of our only hope. Let's be 100% honest with ourselves in this state. So, overall about the great state of Nevada, it's 100% a major focus. We have to focus on getting the good candidate and investing. This is a state Republicans can win. Don't just say, oh, well, we good, all that crap about we can't spend money here, it's better suited in Missouri. Don't do that. Just spend money in Nevada. There is an opportunity. If Trump wins the state by 2 points, there's a good chance we win. So I think we will have Nevada being a major focus. I don't think anybody was saying otherwise. So yeah, that's the state of Nevada gone. Now the state of Arizona. This one, in my opinion, comes down to will Sinema run? And it seems like she will. And let's be clear, I think that Sinema running hurts Democrats. I know that the Democrat Party is not the biggest fan of Sinema in Arizona, but you look at some of the polling numbers, the Republicans she take are the McCain types that would never vote Republican in 2024. They just wouldn't. So I think she does actually help Republicans by a point or two or something. Now, as for the Republican side, there are a couple of candidates to look out for. Mark Lamb, I like. I don't know if he's good fit statewide. I think for a congressional seat, he would fit pretty good in. But he is, the Pinal County Sheriff. I just don't know if he's the best fit. There are some issues that you can make the argument aren't the best fit for the state of Arizona. Now, Abe Hamadeh, I actually think he's an underrated candidate. I really do believe Abe should be a potential candidate. Let's be real here. In 2022, of all the candidates that may have gotten screwed over, anything like that, the one that had the best argument, and I know this from people that actually talked to the campaign stuff, Hamadeh had a serious case. And I do think he was one of our stronger candidates in 2022. I think he was. And he outran the rest of the ticket for the Attorney General election. And arguably, he was probably the most pro-Trump I wouldn't say that, but probably the second most pro-Trump guy openly running on the Trump Attorney General. I'm going to do all this other stuff. And he is fairly well liked in the state, and I wouldn't be against him running. Now, Kari Lake, on the other hand, no. I'm sorry, Lake. This one kind of stings because Lake would have would have been one of the better governors in the country. Stop pretending that she wouldn't have. She would have done a lot of good for the state of Arizona. With that being said, I think she's burnt down every bridge possible in the state. And she may be the VP in 2024. I don't freaking know. But this one just stinks. Now, I'm still going to say that, no, we dodged a bullet with Karen Taylor Robson. I mean, she's the one that was helping Democrats in down ballot elections. It's like, no, I don't want that as governor. But Kari Lake, I just think she's pissed off too many people. And it kind of stings. She should have been a good governor. Jim Lamont, no. We're not even pretending with this one. Just go away, you grifter. TJ Shop, if you don't know who this guy is, one of the biggest rhinos in the Arizona Senate. Look this guy up. You think, some of these other bozos are bad. This guy takes the cake as a pretty big rhino. Pretty big. Now, there is one candidate, though, that I think, you look at all the options of the serious contenders that can unite not only the Trump base, but also unite the more moderate McCain base. It's not Shope. He would piss off the MAGA base. All right, you look at his past statements. Good luck. That's what I will say. Kari Lake would absolutely excite the MAGA base, not so much for certain voters. Mark Lamb, same deal. I don't think he's just a good fit statewide. We, of course, though, got my man Blake Masters. I will defend Masters to this day. I don't give a shit about Mark Baranovich. Mark Baranovich was one of the worst campaigners of 2022. He was. His ass was so lazy. He sat there. It literally took him like a year just to get on the ballot. He was such a lazy campaigner. It was pathetic. He was a solid attorney general, but it's like, do you really want to risk it with a lazy campaigner like that? And Blake Masters, suddenly people on Twitter are saying, yeah, he was dealt a bad hand in 2022. After I said this in November of 2022, I was told that Masters is unelectable. We should never run. But it's like, suddenly these people are saying that he was just dealt a bad hand. So, yeah. I mean, Blake Masters, let's be real. The funding killed him. He ran against a very strong Mark Kelly with the rest of the ticket cratering. So, just combine all of that. A bunch of crap. Now, Blake Masters also did make a mistake or two. One, I think the abortion stuff probably did hurt Blake Masters by a point or so, but I think he focused way too much on the libertarian front. The thing about Masters is, yes, he's extremely based on stuff like the family, immigration, but he also has a libertarian twist to it. And I think his campaign was more focused on trying to get some of those libertarians to vote for him. Instead, I think that may have been the wrong angle. He should have focused on, hey, we need to have it where every household can have one income and live off of that. That was a big thing early on. He kind of just ignored it at the end. I don't know who told him to do that, but hey, I'm not going to ask questions. But I think Blake Masters, when you look at it, he's of the realistic candidates. He's the one that can unite not only the MAGA base, but also the more moderate base. Because I don't care what that Mitch McConnell survey that suddenly got leaked after the election. I don't care what that says. Masters is the best that can unite the party. He absolutely can. Because the other candidates, they have some serious problems. Maybe Hamadeh could, but Lake, hell no. Shop, give me a break. So, I think Blake would be a solid recruit, and this is absolutely a major focus for Republicans in 2024. Now, for the future of the state, well, we just got to see, and it could absolutely change with, Sinema not running. If Sinema doesn't run, we may be in trouble, but that's here or there. As of now, it still is a major focus for Republicans. Hey, Rap, should Mark Lamb replace Paul Gosar in the House? I think Masters should. Masters, bleh. Lamb, maybe. How How old is, let's see. How old is Biggs? Like one of those older congressmen around the Phoenix area. Maybe one of them. But I think that we will see, hopefully Masters runs. Yeah. Who's worse, Mace or Kissinger, in your opinion? I would say kissing ass, just for the simple fact that, Mace at least is trying to suddenly, flip on the Trump stuff. Oh, I'm actually pro-Trump this entire time. But, yeah. Either way, Arizona should be a major focus for Republicans. Now, we're not talking about Utah. Though, Trent Stakes for Senate. That's what I will say. Now, the Montana Senate race. This one is absolutely crucial. If you want to win the Senate, you got to win Montana. There's no other way to put it, because if you win Montana, it's a guarantee you got the Senate. If you don't, well, you may have some problems. Now, let's be 100% real. Tim Sheehy is overrated. That doesn't mean he's bad. It's just he's a bit overrated as a candidate. Yes, he has some money, but do you expect him to spend $500 million? I mean, some people expect him to spend that much money on the Senate race. He ain't. Plus, there's some scandals that may hurt him in the future, may not, but you look at it, he's not a bad candidate. I'm not saying he is, but it's Montana. And Jon Tester has to outperform Biden by like 15 points. Now, I know Montana's an elastic state. That means there's a lot of ticket splitters. But you're talking about basically the same margin that Susan Collins did in Maine, which Maine is one of the largest ticket splitting states in the country. You expect the same thing to happen in Montana? Yes, Montana is heavy ticket splitters, but it's more Republican than Maine is Democrat. And at some point, partisanship is going to catch up to Tester, who, look at his victories. He's won by 2 points, won by 4 points, won by 2 points every single time. And that was in a blue wave. That was in 2012. That was somewhat impressive, but that was back when polarization wasn't as bad. And 2012 or 2018 was a blue wave, even the state of Montana. So Tester, he is a strong candidate, but people are making it sound like, he's unstoppable. That's baloney. And you scroll down to the polling, and the new poll, and again, I know that this is from actually February, where there was actually a poll that came out a couple days ago by PPP, or something like that. I can't remember who it was. It showed Rosendale beating Tester. And you look at the primary polling, Rosendale's up. Rosendale is up for the Senate election, for the primary, and even for the general. Now, Rosendale is the best on the issues of the three candidates. And he would absolutely win. I think he would absolutely win this Senate election. Doesn't mean it's 100%. It just, what would you rather have? Trump win the presidential election in 2024, but he only wins 280 electoral votes. Or have Phil Scott win with 500 electoral votes. What would you rather have? Because I'm getting sick of some of these people that say more is better. It's like, what? I would much rather have Trump win, only by a couple states, because he's way more based on the issues, than I would rather have Phil Scott win with all of them. It's like, it's Phil Scott. And again, I know that's a bit of a different example, but it's like, some people are just pretending that Montana's like a blue state and Rosendale is uneluctable, even though he outperformed the ticket. Either way, point is, Rosendale, in my opinion, is the best candidate. He's going to get money from Club for Growth. Everybody knows who he is statewide now, and all that. Princess Ryder for 2. Tester killed himself with the gun vote. There's that. Benson for 2. We need to avoid polarizing primaries. Exactly. And if Sheehy wants to go in the Congress, just give him Rosendale's seat. That's a fair deal. Sheehy can be the next congressman, and Rosendale can be the next senator. Hey, I think that's fair. Prove you're good on the issues. Go to the House first. Plus, if we avoid a primary, we won't have to spend $500 million just to beat Tester. So hopefully we get Rosendale. I think he is a solid candidate. good on the issues. Do I gotta say much about Montana? It absolutely is a major focus. Now, we're just gonna skip over Texas and Florida. I mean, Florida, maybe not even a focus, but apparently they're trying to run a candidate against Rick Scott in the primary. So yeah, but we just gotta see what happens in the state. Texas, spend some money, make sure Cruz wins, and that's about it. I don't think we gotta say much more about the state. Republicans have a small chance of flipping California. I don't think that's gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Even with the system they got, I just don't see it. So yeah, Texas, we're just gonna ignore. Now, Wisconsin. The great state of Wisconsin. Tammy Baldwin is a strong candidate, but people make it sound like she's going to win by 50 points. No, she ain't winning by 50 points. 2012, she underperformed Obama in the state, I believe. I think she underperformed him by a point. 2018, yes, she won by 11. But guess what? There were a bunch of circumstances to why she did by 11. One, it was a blue wave. It was a blue wave, especially in the state of Wisconsin. She won by 11 because of that, but also she was an incumbent, and many people still kind of liked her. Her approval rating is still high, but it's a bit lower than it was in 2018. Plus, in 2024, it's a presidential year, and the state of Wisconsin, despite our recent setbacks, is slightly trending Republican. At the very, very slow, but it is. And I think Tammy Baldwin is a solid recruit for Democrats, but she isn't unbeatable. She can be beaten if you focus on the issues. And if Trump wins by, let's say, a point or two. If you win by a point or two, there's an opportunity. If you win by 3 or 4, Baldwin's probably done. That's how I see it. Now, as for who we should run, this is a race where I gotta say, you cannot just run somebody from Waukesha to beat Baldwin. You cannot. Look, Baldwin, she may do a little bit worse. No matter who you run, she will do worse in the Waukesha area. The Waukesha, Ozaukee, and Washington counties. She will. She will probably even do a little bit worse than Milwaukee, than Biden. That's probably true. No matter who you run. What this election will come down to is rural areas. I mean, Tammy Baldwin won by 12 points in 2018? Yet she still got crushed in Waukesha. And she didn't do much better in Milwaukee. Her advantage has always been she was the congresswoman from Madison, and she has an appeal to northern and western Wisconsin. That's her appeal. There are a lot of Trump Baldwin voters from 2016 to 2018. There are. Look at the map. Go look at the map. Hold on. Let me bring this up. Let me bring up this map here. Here we go. Look at this. Now, doesn't that look like a very, solidified base in western Wisconsin? And look at this. Vuckmeyer, who was an awful candidate, she was the establishment pick. Look at this. She still won Waukesha by more than Trump did in 2020. Even though she lost by 11. This is what I'm saying. Baldwin, she can do worse in the Waukesha area. So don't run somebody from frickin' Waukesha. You need somebody from northern Wisconsin. Somebody from western Wisconsin who can appeal to these Trump voters. They're like, we vote for Trump. We may vote Democrat for down ballot purposes. And there's one candidate that I believe is the option we have to go with. Tom Tiffany. Tiffany, I think, will run for the Senate seat. We need him. Look, David Clark, there's a lot of bad things about him that they come out, yeah, it's over. Hovedi, I don't freaking know who that is. Scott Meyer, I don't know. But Tom Tiffany, of the major serious candidates, he outperformed Trump in Wisconsin 7th, which is the Northern District. He's a great campaigner. I mean, look at the 2023 Supreme Court election in Wisconsin. Of all the congressional districts, except maybe the Milwaukee region, Northern Wisconsin trended the least Democrat. Northern Wisconsin, because Tiffany barnstormed that region for Kelly. And Tom Tiffany, he appeals to everybody. yes, he has a very conservative record, but a lot of people know him as a guy with the based ad with about pickles and his mom. Or is it like because he's a pickle farmer? I think I don't know, but point is, it's a pretty good ad. People like Tiffany, and people like his mom. And look up the ad. I think it's like he's a pickle farmer. I don't freaking know. All right, don't quote me. All right, it's like a I don't know. I don't know. I can't remember what the ad was, but it was freaking amazing, and people like him. Of all the candidates, he has the easiest opportunity to unite the base. I'm just saying. And he is very solid on the issues, and he's in the region that I'm worried about. Northern and western Wisconsin. I'm not worried about southeastern. Baldwin can win by 15, and she would still probably lose Waukesha by like 20. Right? Or not that may be exaggeration, but still. I think it doesn't matter who you run. They're going to do just fine in Waukesha. It's a matter of who do you run in northern Wisconsin. Now, Sean Duffy, he was an okay congressman, but he lives in New Jersey now. So, yeah. But, yeah, I think overall it is a very solid field for Tom Tiffany. I think whoever runs against Tiffany, I think even against David Clark, I think Tiffany wins. Because the GOP in Wisconsin be like, hell no, we're not going with this guy. And I think the poll from the Wisconsin convention had Tiffany up. Overall, I think Tom Tiffany would be a very solid candidate and would be our best option. I absolutely think that. Wisconsin is a major focus. Trump will carry Wisconsin? Potentially. Potentially. Now, Michigan. Michigan. Oh boy. This is going to be a very fascinating Senate election. Mostly because, well, who will the Republicans run? James Craig? Bill Huizenga? Ruth Johnson, maybe? You look at the candidates and, boy. We're in deep trouble in the state of Michigan, just for the simple fact that our field sucks. And the Michigan GOP is arguably the most incompetent of any state. I mean, they raised like $5 last quarter. The entire quarter. Now, maybe run Huizenga? Maybe run Craig? This is a bad field. This is just awful. And for that, this is not a focus. Just don't mess with it. This field is awful. John James is the only one that would make it close statewide. But the rest of these clowns, Peter Meyer would piss off the Trump base. Lisa McClain, he's all right, but it's like, would she come close? That's kind of a waste. Ruth Johnson, Bill Huizenga, he's, in my opinion, more of a critical candidate for Michigan 4th. And James Craig I don't think he's going to run. But John James isn't going to run, so yeah, it's not that major a focus. Not a focus at all. Now we have the state of Ohio. Do I have to say anything? If Republicans win Ohio, they got the Senate. If they don't, they got to bank on Michigan. Or I should say Montana. You look at this. It's really down to 3 candidates. Matt Dolan, Bernie Moreno, and Frank LaRose. Matt Dolan sucks on the issues. We are not pretending to go with Matt Dolan. He stinks. There's nothing redeemable with the guy. He would, of the 3 candidates, would be the weakest choice. Because, oh my gosh, he does better in Columbus, but proceeds to get his ass handed to him in northeastern Ohio. To Sherrod Brown. Bernie Moreno, okay, decent on the issues, and it's seeming like he is getting the J.D. Vance and the Trump support for 2024. That's looking to be Trump's candidate for the state, because I guess he made a deal with him in 2022. If he ran 2024, he'll support him, and he's okay on the issues, nothing really special. He could be solid, but there's some question marks about him. Frank LaRose, he completely blew it. That was absolutely stupid what he did. If you don't know, behind closed doors, he basically told Trump's people to F off. He said, I don't need Trump support. In Ohio, the state that went from, leaning Obama to safe Republican because of Trump. And Frank LaRose his campaign's not sounding too competent as of now. So he is solid on the issues, but realistically, he's kind of the outlier in this race. So it is between the three candidates. LaRose or Moreno would win. Matt Dolan, I don't think so. Or he could win, but it would be damn close. The other two would be close, probably close enough, but they win. Or I should say closer than Trump, but they both probably win. Now, again, Moreno does have some decent endorsements. Vance, Zeldin, probably Trump. But Moreno has very big question marks, like somebody says in chat. There's some serious question marks about his past, especially with the reparations stuff. But with that in mind, I think that Ohio is a major focus. Now, the state of West Virginia. Joe Manchin's done. I mean, it's a major focus because Republicans got to win it, but it's like, Manchin ain't losing. He ain't losing this election. I mean, look at the poll. Okay, sure. The one poll from Justice's campaign, they have, Mooney down by 15. But you look at the rest of these polls, a lot of undecideds, and they're mostly Republican voters. Whoever Republicans run, they're probably going to win the Senate seat. Mooney is better on the issue, but Jim Justice wins by a larger margin. That's the best way to put it. I personally believe we should go with Mooney. He's getting some solid support and overall is probably the better candidate. But West Virginia absolutely is a critical election. Now, the state of Pennsylvania. You look at the Democrat side. Bob Casey is running for re-election. Just great. Just absolutely great. I mean, Manchin ain't losing. Ain't winning. Manchin probably ain't winning. Excuse me if I misquoted myself, but I think Manchin ain't winning. He is not winning. But either way, the Democrat side for Pennsylvania, it's Bob Casey. Now, the Republican side, we avoided a bullet with Doug Mastriano because I would laugh if he ran and got close against Casey or something crazy, but I understand he just got crushed in 2022, but I think Mastriano made the right choice, run for congressional seat, because he is good on the issues. Stop pretending he's not. He probably shouldn't have ran. That wasn't Trump's fault, by the way, but either way, Mastriano isn't running. It's probably going to be David McCormick. Here's the thing, though, that I'm pissed off about. This is my big problem. If McCormick is the candidate, you know damn well McConnell's going to spend $300 million on him. But they're not going to spend a dime in Arizona. I guarantee you. I swear, McConnell, if you spend $500 million and this bozo loses by 5, but Masters loses by 2, and you give him nothing, McConnell, you're already at strike 15. But it's probably going to be McCormick, and that's my problem because McConnell's going to spend an infinite amount of money. Maybe Mehmet Oz runs again. That's not going to happen, but would be funny if Oz runs again. Carlos Sands, maybe. Just the bench isn't that good in the state, but overall, Sean Parnell, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Parnell's done with politics for now. The personal stuff ruined him, which sucks because he would have beaten Fetterman by a lot, and we would have had a great senator overall. Mehmet Mentum. Oh, we had a super chat. My bad. I just saw the super chat. Princess Rider for 5. Funny how the day a poll comes out showing Justice ahead by 15 over Manchin. The DOJ announced an investigation into him. Yeah. Just a coincidence, everybody. But yeah, thanks for the super chat. So, West Virginia's, or Pennsylvania, minor focus because you don't want Casey to win by 15. That probably would hurt Trump. But yeah, Pennsylvania is a minor focus. Now we get to state of Virginia. The only reason that we are running, or I should say we are talking about it, is the fact that Republicans they do got two decent candidates, potentially. One is the declared Scott Parkinson, who is a seemingly decent fit for the state. And I think he does have the support of Club for Growth, I believe. He does got endorsements from Tommy Tuberville. But the other one, Hun Cao. I think either way, these two candidates will outperform Trump. And if the trends in Virginia hold, and let's say Republicans or Trump wins by or loses by 4 or 5, somebody like Hun Cao or Scott Parkinson could get in. I think Hun Cao is our better choice. Youngkin probably isn't running. But if you look at it, I think the Hun Cao is probably going to be our best option. He did great in Virginia's 10th last year, even without funding, mind you. He almost beat a long-term incumbent. I would say not a focus, but it is a state that if something magical happens, I would laugh. But it wouldn't be completely surprising. Now, this, folks, is a current map of how much of a focus is each state for Republicans. There's 6 states that, yeah, all hands on deck. 3, kind of. But overall, I think that Republicans, if they blow this, just delete the party. Just delete the party, give up, wrap up, it's over. If we can't win the majority in this map, I mean, the minimum is we should win all 6 of the green states. In a realistic scenario with a competent GOP, we should be winning all 6. But knowing our luck, we're going to probably win 1. I swear, if we win 1 Senate election, oh my gosh. And we get stuck with, like, we get stuck with, like, Susan Collins deciding every vote. But, yeah. It's time for the Patriot Party. No. But hopefully Republicans do pick off a couple Senate seats. The fact that we're in this situation where we're begging to just get a majority is just sad. McConnell will find a way to lose Ohio. The fact that we're even talking like this, the sad part is it's not far from the truth. Not far from the truth at all. Who did I say we should run? We should run Rick Harrison in Nevada. Rick Harrison or Adam Laxalt. But, yeah. Democrats will keep the Senate. Republicans have bad candidates. I won't say that. Riley Moore for 5. Hopefully we get 56 Senate seats. I hope so too, but I don't think we are. I just don't see it. I could see us getting 53, but that may be pushing it. Why is McConnell still here? Because this is what he does. He He screws candidates over that he doesn't like. They don't get in the Senate, but he basically bribes. It's a corruption scheme. Bribes countless other senators with infinite amount of money, and they suddenly, rank file support him. But any candidate that he, even with a slight disagreement with, he will screw them over. Like Arizona, like Nevada, like other states. Like even New Hampshire. I know Bolduc was the best candidate, but the way Matt McConnell handled that situation, it's like, bro. Perdue should have ran for the Senate in 2022 instead of Walker. Hindsight, yes, but yeah. It just, what killed Walker was how his son came out the week before the election saying, oh yeah, he's a terrible father and stuff. Bro, don't say that a week before the election or whatever it was. It's like, what are you doing? And this is my problem with some of these Republicans. It's like, say it right away. Don't say it a week before the election. Like, say like a year prior. Again, that's my problem with some of these Republicans. They're grifters, and they will screw over each other if they even have a slight disagreement. It is absolutely pathetic, and I'm sick of it. Bring back the Whig Party. It's okay, McConnell will be gone soon. Nora Locke was stuck with him for like 12 more years. Funny how his son waited this long to say that. Yeah, it's like, say it beforehand. We need to know nothing's back. They're not coming back. Nope. What ruined Walker was $150 million spent against him. That's part of it, but his son's saying that he's a terrible father and all that stuff. It's like, dude, just don't say it. Don't say it that close to the election. What do you think of RFK Jr.? Some sus stuff is coming out about him. And I still think he's a better Democrat than most, but it's like the gun stuff and the environment stuff. Yeah, that ain't good. That ain't good at all. Thoughts of New York governor? To be determined, that I will say. Could somebody primary McConnell? The problem is this is the issue with trying to get rid of the son of a bitch. If you primary him, you know what he's going to do with the money? He's going to invest in the freaking Democrats. I guarantee it. He's going to invest $100 million in the Democrats, screw everybody over and leave. But yeah. I think Walker's son is a Democrat. He's a quote-unquote Republican, though. Yeah, I doubt that. Eastern Kentucky voters are so weird. Nah, they're just like Trump voters. They're Trump Democrats. That's who they are. Thoughts on Brandon Presley? At first he seemed good in Mississippi, the Democrat, but some of that stuff that came out, it's like, again, bruh. RFK said Trump is evil. Yeah. It just kind of sucks. And I understand RFK's on the Democrat side, but he's still far better than Biden. Don't get me wrong. LF Fun for 2. Current opinion on the Kentucky governor race. I've not seen anything. I've seen a couple ads here and there. And by the way, thank goodness for Kim Reynolds from Iowa for actually doing her job as the RGA chair. They're spending money on the race. And early. This isn't like Doug Ducey, who's like, we wait till the last second to spend money. No. Spend a lot of money early, and at the last second, you see where trends are going, then pick specific states to put an all-in push at. Reynolds is already spending a lot of money in Kentucky as the head of the RGA. So I think we're in a good situation, but it's just summer. It's just June 24th. Things can and probably will change very early. I would unironically prefer Murkowski as leader in the Senate over McConnell because Murkowski is at least honest about being a piece of shit. Yeah, McConnell's just useless. Will the Mississippi governor get primaried out? No, he saved himself. Because certainly you notice this about Republicans. The second they're about to get primaried out, they suddenly become the most conservative nationalists in the world. Just a trend, that's all. Imagine the scenario where we flip the Senate by winning West Virginia and California. Oh my gosh. If that happens, oh man, I would laugh. Do you think RFK will endorse Biden when the primary is over? I don't know. That's a big question mark. Will he? Don't know. Zeldin for Senate. I don't think he's going to run for the Senate. Not yet, at least. Will Mark Robertson be the future of the GOP? Hopefully. I think he's good competition. How's the Nevada governor so far? Lombardo, he's been... Look, I know Nevada's a more pro-choice state, but kind of dropping the ball on some issues. He really is. Abbott and Brian Kemp did get better on the issues after their primaries. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about Republicans. You will suddenly see them flip their tune about it. It should be the GOP policy to hold a... Let's see. Yeah, I mean, if you're not doing your job as an elected official for the Republican Party, you gotta go. You can't be Mitch McConnell purposely tanking candidates because of Trump. That's what happened. Stop pretending that, he helped J.D. Vance. You look where the money was spent, I would say that it was effective. He spent... And you notice with these figures, they say they spent $150 million. Look where it's being spent. I'm just saying, go look it up. It ain't the most effective in the world. He may endorse a third party. I could see that by RFK. I could see him do that. But yeah. I think we're going to probably, take final calls for super chats and questions. If you got any more super chats or any more questions, send them now. We should be able to sue elected officials for false advertising. Yeah, but they get freaking protections for everything. So. Okay. Cameron and Bashir are both at 47% of the polls. Yeah, but I'm just saying it's too early. Make an assumption. Vancel's had one of the most brutal primaries. Yeah, I mean, people just forget that. I mean, he had a brutal, the most brutal primary, like you said. I mean, it was a dogfight, what he had to go through. But he still won by 6-7 points, so. Laxalt declined the run for Senate. Yeah, but we gotta beg him to run. Princess Writer for 2. I remember how Fox News credited Vance's win to Mitch. Yeah, I mean, the second you say that, you know they're full of shit. This is my problem with, Mitch McConnell's people. They're so up their ass that they seriously believe this ain't a joke, mind you. They seriously believe if Vance didn't get their money, he would have lost by 5. They really believe that. It's like, bro. Thoughts on Kanye West flipping all states? That ain't happening. O'Dea will win by dictator margins. Yeah, what happened to Joe O'Dea? And you notice they suddenly never talked about him again. And they blamed the governor candidates. Like, what? Those two were not the most MAGA in the world. And arguably, look into it, the most MAGA candidates did the best. Look it up. But that's the funny part. Kanye can run for the Senate in Wyoming. Kanye's just lost it. I hate to say it, but he's definitely going through stuff. What else can you say? Other than, yeah. Rick Harrison would actually win. Yeah, it's like, I can live with Rick Harrison being more libertarian than other Republicans, because it makes sense for Nevada. If he's good at 90% of things, and plus he's based, it's Rick Harrison. Let's see. Jared Polis is pro-gun. I thought he wasn't. I thought he's pro getting rid of taxes. He's anti-tax, which is just bizarre, but I could have sworn that he was anti-gun. Kanye West versus Cornel West. I wish there was some states they don't even mention the first name. It's West versus West. Pick your poison. Hot take: Kentucky governorship is Tildar. It's just so early to say. You could make the argument it could be, but I cannot physically make any predictions right now. I know that's kind of lame, but it's kind of true. Really can't say much right now, but hopefully Republicans they pick it up a little bit though. Brennan the expert. Yeah, that sort of stuff's why we need Rick Harrison. Do you hear what Josh Shapiro's supporting school vouchers? Yeah, but don't fall for it. He's better than some Democrats on stuff like school choice, but that ain't saying much. Kentucky governorship is a bellwether. Yeah, whoever wins the Kentucky governorship usually wins the presidency, right? The party that wins it. All right, I think we're gonna head off, people. If you got any more super chats, any more questions, send them now and forever go in peace. Why is Bashir popular? He's not even some centrist bill. I really doubt that he's that popular. If he is, it's probably because his last name. Bashir's a big name in Kentucky. Zeppelin LZ99 for 2. Hear about the Hobbs abortion stance. Yeah, didn't Katie Hobbs pretty much say that, we're allowing any kind of abortion. They just passed the state legislature and said, nope, we can do this. We can just say these prosecutors that charging people for abortions, nope, they can't do it. only the Attorney General. The Attorney General won't prosecute anybody. I mean, that's freaking ridiculous. I thought that's whatever. There must be some law they can go against. Whatever. No, Kentucky got 2020 wrong. No, Beshear won. And the Democrats won the next year. Josh Shapiro is literally the nerd emoji. True. That is very much true. But yeah, I think overall about like Kentucky, it just comes down to turnout. It's none of this bullshit about, oh, we gotta sway the independents. It's like, if the fucking Trump voters show up, Beshear's gonna lose. If Trump voters vote, which is like 55%, 60% of Kentucky, well, mathematically, you're not gonna win. Riley Moore for 2. It's getting crazy in Russia. Well, the Wagner stuff was like a psyop, wasn't it? It like turned out that it wasn't completely real. That's what I thought. Andy Biggs is great. I mean, Andy Biggs is, yes, Andy Biggs is pretty good. Ben Shapiro versus Josh Shapiro 2028. Who wins? Josh Shapiro. Just for the fact people do not like Ben. They do not like Ben Shapiro at all. Is that even a bad take? I mean, I think that's kind of reasonable. Can I be declared the world's biggest Josh Shapiro hater? Maybe. Maybe. Rick Harrison would probably win 60-40. I don't believe that. I don't see that happening at all. I mean, if he would, that would be funny, but I don't think so. Really don't think so. Ben Shapiro is not good. Let's see. Ben Shapiro voice. That is literally impossible. Like, even though he's a simp. What? Yeah, well, Ben Shapiro's cringe. So, I think that's like a 2016 take. Alright, folks, I hope everybody did enjoy this stream. If you did, smash the like button down below. Subscribe. Share with your friends. Hit that little bell. Follow the Twitter accounts in the description down below. And, of course, join the channel today. Thank you all so much for the support. I hope you enjoyed. We'll see you guys in the next live stream or video. Godspeed.